What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials and pick up your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day, and it comes with the without warning MIDI drums. If you guys haven't checked out my MIDI drums yet, they're making everybody just have a really quick and simple time putting together beats. Also, check out the super slimy MIDI drum pack. It also comes with a free drum kit, free 808s, free piano loops, and you know, all the MIDI drum patterns from the Super Slimy album, which are fucking gas. So anyway, cool thing is sampling is cool again. Sampling is happening a lot. A lot of the more like hit sounding trap tracks from last year were dominated by samples. You can think of stuff like Metro's Mask Off and things like that. That is the sound. So the first thing about sampling is to make it easy on yourselves. What a lot of industry people do is they use the sample packs that are you know, sold on sample sites like ADSR and Kingsway and the Drum Broker and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with using them as long as you use I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of it, you know. So that's the first skill, and it's so easy to do nowadays. You just go scroll, find stuff, listen to the SoundCloud link to the stuff. If you like it, you think you could flip it, you get it. So I'm gonna be working with this sample right here. I'm gonna just go ahead and drag it into the Studio One, and let's see if we can get a little loop going. The first thing I like to do when I get a sample is just make sure it's time stretched correctly. All right, see, that is, I can hear it right here. This transient right there, this needs to start at the next bar. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this out, holding down Alt, dragging to the right. Let me see. That's still going to be a little too early. Let's drag it out a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, see, I want this guy to go back to 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Alt again to get that little clock. That is the time stretch. Hold down Shift. That way I'm not locked into the grid, and just push it back, yeah, until it gets there. Let's see what that sounds like. Actually, I'd like it a little bit better off beat. All right, so let's see what we get when we do 8-bar loop. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this and I'm gonna chop these, and I'm gonna build like 2 patterns, I believe. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start messing with the pitch and see if I can get something that sounds a little cooler. Alright, bet. And let me go ahead. I like this plugin here, the Hornet, because it's cheap. And it does the job. You can use mixed and key. There's a whole bunch of other options. Let's see. Double check it. It's looking like it's gonna be E flat major. I just want to double check it. And I'm using Melodyne Editor. This isn't the free version that comes with Studio One to do the to get like the polyphonic editing. You gotta have a Melodyne Editor. All right, cool. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this sample a little bit more interesting. I'm gonna run some different effects over it. So let's see if just making it simple with halftime will do anything cool. Yeah, like that. It's evil. All right, so let's run a quick drum pattern. Let's see what that does to the second half. All right, cool. So, all right, so I'm gonna do, I got this pattern over here. I got this pattern over here. And I got an idea for another pattern. I'm just gonna take this, and again, using the time stretching with sampling is pretty much like how all of the sauce is created, whether it be through running it through halftime and grow speed and stuff like that. Time stretching is how we're getting these sounds. So what I did was I shortened up the is I made the sample faster so that when grow speed hits it now, it's not going to stretch it as much. It's going to sound like the original tempo. Grow speed, halftime, same shit. All right, so cool. So I'll take and I'll use. This will be the hook, right? We'll make that the hook. And then we'll make this. We'll make that the beginning of the verse. This, and then we'll go back to this, right? And this will also be our intro. What I'm doing for this piece is I'm gonna make this 808 pattern like super simple. I'm gonna get rid of the rolls, get rid of the pitch and everything. Take out the kick. Here we'll program a little drop, right? That's what's up. So now we got a bass switch up. You know, we got the track pretty much arranged, and then from here, you know, this the track it's got a lot of the highs rolled off because of the pitching of the sample and everything. So that you know, when you think about if you can add more things, you know, you want to think about what's missing from the frequency spectrum. So I can go in now and you know, go to a you know, go to another sound like a bell or something. And I got, let's see. You know, Melodyne was calling it C major, but sometimes I'll start in minor, and if it doesn't, because sometimes it won't be playing all the notes in the major scale. So if you get lucky, you know, if that's the sound you're going after, you can go ahead and use a minor scale with this. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna fuck with it. I'm just gonna, let's go to the major scale. I see this shit does not sound good. I mean, bro, the computer's not always right, man. Sometimes you just gotta use your ears, bro. For this pattern, we'll run it different. And then, you know, even though this isn't a real repetitive beat, since we have the 3 patterns, we got the bass switching up. I still like to add something to this first verse, like a glitch type effect or something. So I'm going to go to good old, what can I do? I'm gonna go to Sugar Bites, throw Looperator on. And then I'm just going to edit the bypass automation. So we just get it on this section. So now we got this. And that's it, y'all. So real quick, what you want to take away from this tutorial is one, if you want to get into sampling, especially with Studio One, it's really easy especially if you're coming over from FL Studio, you're probably looking for the actual sampler plugin, and it's a lot easier from the all the stuff that you used to be able to do in Edison. You don't need a plugin in FL Studio to do. You could do it in the arrange window, and I think that's what confuses a lot of people is they're looking for a plugin to do the stuff that you don't need a plugin to do in this program. On top of that, pitch shifting and time stretching is really easy. You want to time stretch and pitch shift. That's pretty much the sauce for all modern sampling. And just go out of your way to find cool sample packs. Purchase them. There's great ones out there, especially the ones that you purchase that say that they're master clearance guaranteed. Like, don't be afraid to use those. You can use them to upload and lease beats all day. You can make a lot of money off of somebody else's awesome samples. The only thing that where you run into a situation is where it's master clearance guaranteed, and then you actually place it on a legit album. You just have to contact that creator and say, hey, I placed this beat, and then they'll say, oh, okay, well, I'm entitled to 50% of the publishing and a credit, and then you give it to them and you get your placement. You never get shut down. That's what master clearance guaranteed means. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys took something away from it. You can make awesome sample beats. Keep it simple, don't be basic, and we will see you on the next